2. And we're recording the meeting just so everyone knows. Our first item of business is to approve the agenda, which we just had up. Can I have someone approve it? I'm going to view everybody. You could wave your hand, I think.
I'll approve it.
Oh, Sam approves it. Anyone second it? I don't even know if we do Robert's Rules of Order, and this is my first chairing. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Excellent. Okay, it passes. So did everyone get to see the May minutes from last year? And if you didn't, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, it was, so maybe it was a mistake here, Shannon, because the link was towards these minutes from May 2020.
Oh. Oh, you're right.
And the last one from May this year was only for Deepak.
Oh, it should be April. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so the last one is from April, indeed.
Okay. Here we go. I'll just leave this up for a few minutes so we can read it. Maybe if you're not speaking, we could mute and then feel free to unmute anytime you're ready. Just to reduce the background sound. It's not going to open.
It's right below. It's open already. You can see the principal's report. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about outdoor classrooms, new stones added to the field by the portables. Yes, we got a check from the PAC for staff, PAC delivered a check to the school. We talked about staffing and new admin Peggy Wong. Fourth quarter with grade 8s and 9s coming in.
After we're done,
Can everyone mute if they're not speaking? Just to reduce the background noise.
First, we will finish on what is this? What is the conference with the teacher and this?
Nancy did a review. Sue Baines looked at our balances, which was $19,137.
The sound.
Consultative was 6,000. Legacy was 3732. We talked about the BC Gaming Grant ends at the end of June, and Deepak membership, which is has been paid this year. I just got confirmation. Sam talked about seismic upgrades, and I think sending a letter to Deepak. And then there was sort of an election, and the meeting ended. So I'm going to unshare.
Shannon, I think you have the ability to mute people.
Okay, great. I'm going to mute everyone. Oh, sorry, I'm asking people to unmute. Okay. So can I get a mover on the April 2021 minutes? Tracy, seconded by Karina. All those in favor? Awesome. Okay, let's go back to our minutes, our agenda. Okay, so I'll just give a little overview of myself first. I'm a new chair of the PAC. My son Miller's in grade 12, so I will need probably a succession plan or a co-chair, which would be amazing, and we could learn this together. I haven't chaired a PAC, but I've chaired many nonprofit committees and nonprofit societies. And our executive members right now are Laura Spence in communications, Karina Taturo in co-coms, I guess. Sue Baines is our treasurer. Darnell Moore is our secretary. Samantha Anderson is our DPAC rep. We are looking for a fundraising person, which we can go over the job description is in the blog for JO, which I'm going to send out in the chat in a minute. And Lynn Lamb, I have listed as a board member, but I don't know what their position is. Lynn, are you here?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Lynn. What's your position on the board?
It was actually fundraising.
Oh,
don't-
perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, but if anyone's interested in joining me, the position's open. I'd love a teammate if anyone's interested. So
Okay, awesome. So I retract the position is not available, but help is always welcome. And there is a position for co-chair if you are interested. Am I missing anyone? Former board members? Maybe I'll go around. Paul, am I missing you? No, you're just waving? Okay. Our mandate is on the JO PAC blog, which I'm going to put it copy in the chat if you want to learn more about what the JO PAC is in charge of. But essentially, we have some fundraising opportunities. We make sure that we have a voice at the table. We keep parents in touch. We have a venue for a principal's report, a teacher's report, and a Deepak report. I believe we do some things helping with graduation. Am I missing anything? Darnell? Seasoned veteran? No? Okay. Okay. So Cheryl sent me an opportunity in the summer, which I'll also put in the, Cheryl was our former PAC president or chair. This organization called the Knowledge Society, and it's for students. It can be completely free. It's a unique opportunity for curious and driven high school students. Over 10 months, you can join like-minded 13 to 17-year-olds to solve real-world problems. There's ample tuition, 100% a needs-based financial aid. And they basically learn about emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, blockchain, with mentors from top companies like Google, Apple, and Tesla. Looks like a really cool opportunity, particularly because it's free. I'm going to put the email in the chat. If you are, maybe if any of the teachers are interested in promoting this, or parents are interested because they know their kids love tech, you don't need to have like a resume or anything. It looks like a really amazing opportunity. Okay, next, we received thank you letters from students who received scholarships last year. So I just want to quickly read them. I'm going to try to keep the meeting to 1 hour today because it's September and we're all just getting used to these schedules. But Samuel writes, thank you to the generous graduation gift. I sincerely appreciate the recognition. I plan to attend Langara in the fall in the field of health sciences. Your gift is appreciated and will help pay for my associated costs. Elijah writes, dear PAC Council, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude as the recipient of the John Oliver 100th Anniversary Legacy Scholarship in this year's graduating class. This generous gift will aid me in the pursuit of higher education and future successes. My time at John Oliver has been filled with great experiences and enormous character development. I've learned so much that has prepared me for my time at university and eventually my career. The opportunity provided to me by this school will influence me for the rest of my life. Next year, I'll be studying at UBC to pursue a Bachelor of Arts, hopefully with a major in economics. Following this, I intend to serve in the armed forces and then attend law school. After completion of law school, I hope to practice either criminal law as a prosecutor or tax law. The scholarship that you have kindly bestowed me will help me pursue these dreams. And then Bramveer said, I would like to thank you for your generosity and would like to thank you for choosing me as a recipient of the JO Parent Advisory Committee Thomas Harappunik. Did I say that right? Harappunik Scholarship. I'm honored to be the recipient of the scholarship. The scholarship will help me pursuing post-secondary education. I'll be attending SFU and will be pursuing a bachelor degree in computer science. This scholarship will help me focus on
I think we lost our voice.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I was wondering if I had frozen or if Shannon had frozen.
Did I freeze?
Yes, you did.
Oh man, where? Well, we've got a student from Langara, a student from UVic, a student from UBC.
With someone going to school for computer science, and that's the last part I heard.
Okay, well, that's not too far. So the last one is Callum, who's going to University of Victoria for geography and environmental sciences. Always loved the outdoors and consider this my happy place. When it came time to decide what to study in post-secondary, the decision was simple. I always told if you loved your job, you'd never work a day in your life. I'm excited about university and the opportunities it will open. This scholarship will help me avoid groceries and allow me to focus more on school and less about money. Thank you so much. I hope to give back to Oliver Mini School soon by volunteering my time for chaperoning or growing and expanding the mini. So that's nice. And then my final piece of news is this. We got a thank you from the library for, I guess we donated some money, and these are all the books that they got. So that's nice. Okay, where's my agenda? We're going to now move on to our JO staff parent liaison update by Nancy P. Take it away, Nancy.
Hi, folks. So early in the year. Not much to say at all. I'll just introduce myself to those who haven't met me this year, to any new parents on PAC. So I'm Nancy Paleco. I teach Spanish, French, and psychology to your children, and totally enjoy teaching here at JO. Not much to report yet. We've started a new year with the semester system. We're all getting our bearings and figuring that out. And hopefully there'll be some survey going out in the end of the year to see how everyone felt about it. And we'll get an idea, and then we can give direction to the VSB. Besides that, I don't have really much to support. We're just getting through COVID, and the BCTF is still pushing for lots of health measures in schools. And as we saw, now parents will be told if there's a exposure at schools. I don't know how yet, and that's all changing, but I'm sure you heard that all in the news. So the BCTF is pushing for lots of safety in schools for our children and for us. So enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for teaching our children.
Absolutely, I love it.
What grade did you teach? Sorry, what do you teach?
Spanish, French, and psychology. So all the grades, they're grade 8 to 12, depending on, it's kind of elective. So
Amazing. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Principal Brent Cheeman update.
There we go. And I'm muted. All right. I do have a few little things to go over, but I'd first like to introduce, I'm pointing down at him on my screen, but he's right there. It's Gurpal Sohal. He's our new vice principal, one of our new vice principals, and he is here from Delta, and there was a vice principal over there. So both of our new vice principals are seasoned vice principals, so that's a great thing. And he's going, I think you've got grade 8s and 10s, and a bunch of other portfolios on there. So welcome, Gurpal. I don't know if do you want to say anything, just a hi first?
Oh, just excited to be at John Oliver School with a great reputation and a solid staff, and it's really good to see such a strong turnout at the first PAC meeting. So I'm glad to be here, and just wanted to say hi.
All right, our other VP might pop in. If not, we'll get him on the next one. It's Kelly Eagleson, who was at McGee formerly. What have I got? I've got a list of things here to talk about. So staffing, we had a lot of change over the summer. A lot of change. We have two new VPs. Kareen Kinnan went on to a district role of a special or alternative education. So she is working with placing students and in alternate programs and across the district. And so she's actually still working with us with Take the Hike, but isn't here every day, obviously. We had two postings or 2.5 postings. I'll say 2.5 because it's 2 and a mat leave. That's only till December. But the other 2 postings are for the first semester, and we posted them and we just filled them both. Sam Lynn is here for computer science, mini school computer science, and digital immersion. And then Stephanie Hung is here for math and if I'm not mistaken, until for the first semester. Unfortunately, the board only let us both as temporary, so they won't be back next year, but we'll do what we can to get them back because they're both doing quite well. We also have a little bit of a change coming up. We're going to have a new office administrator or head secretary here. We're not sure who yet, but Peggy Wong is moving over to another school as of October 4th. And so that's going to be a bit more change, a bit more people in the office, and hopefully it won't be too disruptive. Let's see, what did we do? What have we done so far? Semester system is occurring. We're trying to follow all the COVID protocols. It is tough, I will say. Things like in the cafeteria where we're trying to keep spacing, but it's just not as easy. There's still kids at tables, especially once it started to rain last Friday, that rainstorm. Oh my goodness, we had kids that had to eat somewhere. So, but on a nice day, everybody's outside. It's kind of nice, and we do our best. The kids are really, really good at keeping their masks on, and that was one of the big things that we saw last year. Even though we did have some of the highest numbers of exposures in the district, we did not have spreading events at all. So that was actually quite a positive because our kids, when they're sick, they're staying home, and we definitely encourage that. Semester system is new. Some of us went to school in the semester system. Your Paul his last school was semester, so we got some inside scoop for future timetabling from him. It is a lot different than people are used to, and so I can see right now even some people just trying to still figure it out, staff and students trying to navigate this every single day. You know, a good 80-minute block and homework for a lot of them every day. So we'll see how it goes throughout the year, and I'm sure there's going to be modifications as in teaching styles or in learning styles or in studying techniques throughout the year. We also do have fit time. The fit time is 2 different blocks on the Tuesday morning and the Thursday afternoon, and that fit time is really for students to explore what they need. So they're going to go and if they have a group project, they're going to get together with the group during that time. If they have they need some help with math class, they're going to go try and find the math teacher. And so it is really for them to do what they want to enrich their learning, whether or not that's getting help with what they don't understand, or even trying to seek out, if they wish, further instruction in an area, or something that's totally like not even associated with them. And they could go down to the wood shop and see if anybody can help them build a skateboard. I mean, that's just who knows, right? There's definitely options, and it's going to take us a long time to actually make it work perfectly. But right now, kids are doing quite well. We've mentioned to all the students and are highly encouraging them to not leave the school grounds for this. We can't monitor all of our doors, but the idea is to be on campus. You can be outside studying, you can be outside meeting with a group. Some people will eventually be doing recordings or little movies for classes, and those are good things to do at that time. But we don't want it to be a second lunch hour on those days where they go to Tim Hortons and just have an extra bit of a break. And it really is where we are trying to put the emphasis on students. There will be some assemblies and stuff as well, but which won't be optional; they'll be mandatory. But we'll see as that goes along.
Brent, I heard that the kids love that fit session.
Yes,
they love having a bit of freedom and flexibility. I've heard really good things about it.
That's great feedback, and we do see a lot of kids using it. And I would encourage you to have your children look at it as an opportunity to not do, like if they have some little bit of homework, to not do that homework in the evening, to get it done where they might be able to get some extra help for it, and that sort of thing. So it definitely can be used quite well.
Yeah, just an aside, the district I came from had flex time, like fit time, but the students had to be in a room, whereas here they can be just about anywhere in the building. And Shannon, of interest, somebody with a grade 12 student, I walked in the cafeteria and it felt and looked like a college campus. Students of all different types, eating, studying, but mostly engaging with learning. It was pretty impressive. So I think they've taken to it.
It's very cool.
Just a couple of things. School photo day is Monday. So we've sent out some messages, put it up on the website. It'll be in the morning. There'll be a retake day. I don't know exactly when the retake day is, but hopefully everybody can get their photos on Monday. There's professional day, obviously, tomorrow. And there's the Truth and Reconciliation Day on September 30th, which there will be no school. A couple of things that happened over the summer. We had our big gym floor fully stripped down to the last possible sanding that it can ever have. The next time this needs to happen, it has to be a new floor. So it was done down to the bare bones, and then it was repainted, restained. We had them put a blue stain. It almost looks like a deep denim color into the key area of the main basketball court, so it really looks eye-popping. And it's just, if nothing else, it's just a lot brighter than it used to be. They believe that the last time it was painted and done was 50 years ago. So it's, if you do walk in, eventually when we can have all these people back, if you look underneath the bleachers, the old color is there, and it's almost a cherry color, like deep brown cherry color, and the rest is now like a nice birch. So if you know your woods.
How old is this school?
School is since these are the Joker shirts since 1921, but different areas of the school are different ages. So it's definitely old. We also had our auditorium, the lighting and sound booth at the back was finished, and we had some people working on updating our, we put a new screen in. We have a new automated system so we go in and we take a mic, we push the button on the mic, excuse me, and it works. We are still waiting on lights and a projector, but it should be really easy for anybody that wants to, including possibly PAC fundraising events later on, to go in there, plug a laptop into the stage, and play a movie with, it'll be a laser projector on a 4D canvas. So we can probably do some nice stuff with it. There's even we have a Bluetooth adapter at the front for if people just want to play sound in there. So it's coming along quite nicely. And that's the goal, is to get some amazing things back in there. We have a new lighting and soundboard. And I know the tech crew has already looked at it, and they're itching to try it out for some things. So probably the first big thing we'll have is probably the Remembrance Day ceremony, but we're going to try and figure out how to use these lights and sounds and all sorts of stuff. So that's pretty cool. And lastly, and then I'll open up if there's any quick questions about COVID. I'm not really going to talk about COVID safety protocols and things to that effect. They change pretty frequently. So if I tell you something today, for instance, right now we're not having spectators at sporting events and that sort of stuff. At the end of next week, it might be different. So we'll try and keep you updated as much as we can. But right now it's pretty much the same as it's been since the beginning of the school year. And we're just taking everything very cautiously and we're starting things up. We're actually allowed to do a lot more things than we actually are, but we are trying to go slowly and meaningfully and really ask the question, that would be good to do, but do we need to do it at this point, especially with cases increasing? We did have the vaccination clinic, which is put on entirely by Vancouver Coastal Health here. I don't know how many people got vaccinated. Paul, do you have any idea?
I don't, but the cohort of young people, 12 to I think 17, 18,
Yeah.
Kelly shared that it was about 82% in our neighborhood, in our school catchment area, have been double vaxxed or vaxxed.
But school enrollment, this is the big thing that has affected us. I just got the numbers. Every Thursday they pull the numbers, and so we actually just got the numbers. This is brand spanking new as of today. So as of right now, we have 985 students in the school, which is down from, and I have the other, which is down from the start of last year, which we had 1,053. So we're down 68 students. Now we knew that was happening because we had a graduating class of about 250, and now we have about and a grade 8 entry class of about 174, 180. So that was going to be down 60 students just from the change of grade 12s to grade 8s. What that does is it does make less blocks available, less teachers available. And so we do want to start trying to grow it back again, but looks like we're pretty much going to be pretty stable, anywhere from sort of 175 to 190 in each of the different grades moving forward if we look at our long-term projections. So we should be fairly stable after this year. We do have a big grade 12 class back up to about 240. So we might also have a decline next year, but we'll see. I mean, our big goal is to promote the school. We don't get a huge amount of cross boundaries to the school, but we also don't lose that many. So it's just the area is not, it's happening in a lot of schools in Vancouver. Just people are moving out to the suburbs instead of being here. So the decline in enrollment is across the district. But unfortunately, because we actually projected that we would have about 1020 after everything that we thought about. And so we're actually, we're using the board is giving us basically some extra funding just to make up for what they've given us. Like other schools are really helping us to not have to lose other staffing right now. So our projections are gonna have to be a little bit lower next year so we don't get in this situation, but we try our best. It is a projection that we put in, and so it's a guess, and we didn't quite get to where we needed to get to, but we still have another week before the pull comes from the district or for the ministry, and we're going to make sure we have all our kids in all of the courses that they can possibly be in for next week. So that's about all I have to say. And welcome back to another school year. It is really, really, really nice to have kids in the school, to have kids saying hi to you. You might have to take take the mask and pull it off a little bit because you're muffled, and so we're like, we say something like 3 times and then it's like, no, this is what I'm saying. So it is a little bit tricky wearing the mask all day long with a little bit of noise in the hall. But kids are doing it and the staff are doing it, and it's really nice. And I think the kids are enjoying being back in class as well. So that's it.
Amazing. Does anyone have questions for Brent?
I was wondering, just listening about the numbers going up and down with the students, it's like you're losing or you need some more clients, like new clients. How can we get them? Is there anything that the PAC can do in terms of promoting the high school, maybe to get, I don't know, more kids interested?
Yeah.
Because
Sorry. Go on.
Because for instance, my son Alex came cross boundary because he applied for the mini school.
Right.
he spends 1 hour back and 1 hour forth every day to get home and get to the high school. But what about the neighborhood? So I mean, because if you say that people are just moving out, how can you counterbalance this?
Right. So I mean, that's a good question. I don't know if I have the perfect answer for it, but anything we can do to shed positive light on John Oliver, to promote John Oliver. If we have big events, like we've got some plans to possibly, and I don't know if it'll happen this year with where we are with COVID, but maybe next year. We have plans to have some outdoor movie nights where everybody just sort of brings a lawn chair, sits down, we broadcast on the side of the school in the gravel field, that sort of stuff. We want to push the community to come into the school. So when we have a play or something from our drama department, we would love to see everybody, as many people out as possible. So all of this stuff builds that community, and that's really what we need to do. We're going to try and advertise as much as we can on our website, on our Twitter feed. If there's something big happening, we'll try and get the media involved. We want this to be a place that people hear about, that they're always hearing about, and that can help us. And there are a couple things that still have hit us a little bit harder. For instance, just 10, we used to have 10 students at international. Well, international students are just sort of starting to come back. So they haven't come back to here in as much. We only have 4 this year. If we can push the how good this school is, how great this school is, international students might come more here, and that can bring lots of things in and be really, really a wonderful thing. So there is no tried and true way of having students come into the school, but we just want to, the higher you are perceived, the better you're perceived, and the more people might want to come here. If you're in real estate, sell houses here, that sort of thing. But it's definitely a challenge, and there are ebbs and flows. I know I was just at Templeton. Templeton used to be in a huge decline. It used to have a lot of kids, and it went down to about 800, and now it's gone back up because there's been a little influx of people. And I know for a fact that like Mackenzie School, where my son goes, they had to restructure a bunch of stuff because they just got an influx of a whole bunch of students as well. So they're coming. You just have to figure out when they're going to come. And also just, different years sometimes just have different amounts. Like you can have an anomaly year where nobody had kids or something, and it's lower than the next year. So
we have 2 questions in the chat, and I'll do the one that relates to what you're just talking about first. Okay. And that is, can this kind of promotion come from the students? What can students do, sort of pride or ownership? And I kind of had the same idea, like we could do a contest, like a TikTok contest for Show Your School Pride. Kids, like that stuff goes viral like crazy.
Yeah, something like that, although we have to be careful because there was the TikTok that went very, very bad. TikTok about vandalizing your school's bathroom. That was just happened last week. I have some nephews in North Van that some of those schools got hit really hard. We have some students making a class project video about why that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So our kids didn't do it, which is great. I mean, I think our kids really, really, really love this school and really want to be here. And so, yes, having ownership of such as that, if they are having, and again, this could be after COVID, that's the problem. If the students are going into a Christmas concert or a sporting event or something, have them invite their friends, and like everybody come, and the more people here, the more people experiencing a really positive environment, the better. And and if there's something that's really cool that's happening, we'll encourage the students to tell us, because sometimes there's clubs that we don't know exactly what's happening. Tell us, and then we can advertise it and put it in the media and put it anywhere we can possibly put it. So I know last year we did some, even just with COVID, we had some, trebuchets that I put on Twitter, and I think just for that one thing, 30 more people followed the Twitter account, and that just builds the capacity. Okay.
Amazing.
The other question there I see, are there any events assembly? We're doing the same thing that's been done in the last couple of years, just Orange Shirt Day, plus there'll be some displays and things in the hallway. We're not doing anything per se with assemblies. We have not done any assemblies yet at the school. And then for the actual National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, there's a drumming circle, I think down at the school board, I want to say, but I would have to look at that, that people can go to or can actually follow on Teams or not. Yeah, probably Teams or Zoom, one of the two.
And Nancy, who's in the meeting, stepped up at the staff committee meeting recently to make a subcommittee of a couple of people and linked up with our Indigenous education teacher and our Indigenous ed worker. So they've got some ideas and a lot of that is also kind of student-led as well. So kind of both those questions together about student ownership. Students should own that day, right? And own the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation as well. So it's building at school.
And it's interesting because nobody can find orange t-shirts anymore right now. So we had some ordered and they canceled the order because they couldn't produce the demand or the supply. They didn't have the supply for the demand. And so we're just sort of have what we have. I think we've gone to doing some, for students that want them that don't have an orange shirt, just some little fabric orange ribbons type of thing.
If I'm going to the island this weekend, if you find any over there, I can pick them up. Because I bought our orange t-shirts from, I think, the Shemanis band.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can, but then it's hard to sell them in a couple of days. So because we were just gonna provide them for, what I tend to do, people use them, reuse them, and there's no sense in getting a new one every single year. So I sort of buy, 15, 20 and just sort of give them out to staff. Most of the staff, students are actually really good. Students often have them on regardless, but it's also a really tough time, and it's a tough time to plan everything when we're really focusing on school startup to get enough things happening to do a big event at that point. We had some bigger events actually last year in the spring for I think there's an Indigenous Awareness Month or week earlier.
June 21st.
Yeah, but we did one before that, and it wasn't because of the 215, the residential school stuff. We did something before that as well, where we had displays up and some things going on, the PA announcements every day. So we're definitely focused on that, and we're really happy that we have two. We have an Indigenous education teacher, a new one coming, and a new Indigenous education worker. We only had one last year, and it was Brandon Peters was wonderful, but he was only there 2 days a week. Now we have two people here 2 days a week, which means, I think they're going to split it, so they're here almost the whole week, which is great for bringing that culture and helping out our Aboriginal kids as well.
Brent, do you think you could take back to the Board of Education just that our parents are interested in programming potentially for next year or leading up to, maybe some decolonial
I mean,
training?
there are, I don't have it here. There's been all sorts of curriculum that's being given to the teachers to do in their classrooms. They have a list of all these things and list of events that are occurring. And I know that, and Chaz is doing this thing. You know what, if you give me a sec, I'll run out to the front of I'm just at the school. Then I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Because we have it listed there. So give me 1 sec.
Sue, just so you know, you're up next. Cue you in the wings.
I could quickly give the balances right now while he's gone. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'll wait my turn. I'll wait my turn.
He might be interested.
Yeah, so what they've put down, so they give us this little sheet about Orange Shirt Day, Every Child Matters, National Day of Reconciliation, and on the back, they have all these, well, can't you see, all these resources, and the events that they've listed for us. There was a Legacy of Hope speaker program for all ages back on yesterday, September 22nd. There's the UBC Orange Shirt Day event that's happening. And then the Remember Me National Day of Remembrance on September 30th live stream. So it's actually maybe not, I know the school board is doing something, but I think it's in tandem with that. So when this National Day of Remembrance is happening and there's going to be a drumming circle, they're going to participate at the same time. So I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So lots of program. That's great. And most of the events are open to the public.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. There's a link here from Langara with Reconciliation Week. Thank you so much, Teresa. Any more questions for Brent before we move on? Okay, thank you so much, Brent.
Sure, yeah.
Sue, we're asking you to stand up and do the PAC finance update.
Good evening, everybody. So we've got 3 accounts. I'm just going to give you the balances on each account. So the balance as of today on the gaming account is $287.17. The consultative account is $6,123.97. And the legacy account has $1,082.14. So the big balance or that goes into the gaming account, last year it came in October. So probably by next month I'll have the balance for what the gaming account has. And other than that, the balances are pretty true too. It looks as though all the scholarship checks and everything that was written over the last few months were all cashed out and stuff. So, which is good. So right now the balances are pretty true too. And then the grant application was done in May. And like I said, last year, the funds came in around October. So we'll see if they come in October, and then we'll have a little bit more money to work with and see where we want to put it. So, yeah.
So not to put you on the spot, Sue, but just for newer members, including myself, what are our main expenditures with our PAC money?
Okay, so I'm just going to go back. I am a newer person to the JO PAC.
Then you don't have to answer this time, but maybe next time. Could you maybe?
Yeah. So so I was hoping that maybe somebody from previous years was at the meeting, because I kind of came in during a COVID year, and I'm like, I can do balances, I can write checks. Okay, right. So I can speak for the fact of the grant money comes in. It's based on the enrollment from the previous year, and how many kids, and then each kid's allotted funds, and that's what the grant money will come in from. Other than that, the consultative account, I believe that's kind of like a general account right now, and the legacy account, I know we wrote a scholarship a check from there, unless there's somebody else that's here right now. I'm not sure what funds actually get deposited to the legacy account. And the previous year,
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. There's Laura. So we made no deposits to the legacy account last year. So maybe Laura can speak to a little bit about that.
Yeah. Hey, so the legacy account was a bunch of money that got created when there was a big 100-year JO amazing 100-year celebration. So that money can only be spent on legacy-based projects that benefit the whole school for now and in the future. So one scholarship comes out of that account, and it's time limited, like it's not going to come out forever, and it probably would be in the minutes for somewhere when that one stops coming out. It was a Thomas Harappunik Scholarship that was for a set number of years. But then when that set number of years expires, because the legacy account will basically be empty, like the theory was, it should be empty because we spent it on fun, like we spent it on like the auditorium got sound upgrades and lighting upgrades and things like that. So that account, yeah, it'll be in the minutes from last year. And then a lot of money gets given to scholarships from the grant that we get from the Lottery Corporation, which they're outlined as well. And often money goes to athletics and clubs, and there's not that many fixed costs, only basically the Deepak membership, which allows us to be part of the Deepak, and it's like $100 or $70. And often there's a teacher staff celebration lunch where some money from the PAC consultative account gets used for that, but that's entirely up to us. If in these post-COVID times, there's anything goes. If you want to appreciate someone, you can appreciate them. If it was done a certain way 10 years ago, doesn't matter. It's a whole new group of people to work on things.
Isn't there, Laura, a time when teachers can come to the PAC for special projects or for like field trips or something?
That is we can work with Brent maybe on the ideal way for that to happen, because the clubs and like the music program, the drama program, the auditorium project, and robotics clubs and student welcoming clubs and all these fabulous things that happen, they do come usually in October. And there's a vetting process that happens where Brent takes a look at the requests that come before. This is also up for change because it's post-COVID. So because sometimes school administrators have amazing knowledge of where money can come from. So we don't want to have some beautiful SSW or school worker come and do an earnest beg for $400 for something to build networking among grade 8s, and then Brent goes, oh, but we've got the blah 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 account for that. So so Brent has to look at all the requests to make sure that there's not a kinder or easier way to source that money, and then the requests come to the PAC for consideration. But it's kind of been done slightly differently over the last 5 years, so it's up to us to optimize it how it works best for the school administration and everybody without torturing anyone.
Maybe I'll work with you, Brent, to maybe do a call for November so that we can be organized.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year I put it out just after this meeting and had it ready for people. I can't remember, ready for you guys. I don't know if it was ready for you guys in October or November.
Around November, I think we were writing.
Yeah, and so that's a thought that maybe you all can think about, because that would be for things happening right now and for this year. So that's a good thing to do. I know other PACs do it in the spring so that those staff members know that when they come in the fall, and it's a gamble that you're going to get the money, but it's, that they know that money is going to be there so they can have all the things prepared already for this new year. The only downside to that is there could be new staff that don't get an opportunity. So there's different ways of doing it. This one, the money might not be guaranteed to them until November, but they might need it in September. So there's goods and bads about both, and you guys just need to figure out which you want to do. Probably for this year, I can put out a form. We have a form that we used last year. I can put out a form now and probably have it ready for you for either the October or November PAC. It's all up to you.
That sounds good. What does everyone think? Should we spend some money? Yeah. Support the school? Oh, so you're on, I need to hear you because you're the treasurer.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was on mute. So I think maybe November is better than October, Brent. Just give us a little bit of time because the big difference is usually there's money coming in with some sort of fundraising and stuff. So we can so I know the execs are going to try to get together and have a little bit of a meeting, and maybe, I'm not sure, like with COVID and everything, when it comes to past fundraising, what fundraising we can do, or if we're just going to be working with the grant money, which would come in October. So maybe, maybe around November might be better.
I can get that out really quickly. Yeah. Giving them a little bit more time to actually apply for things might even be better. I think last year I only gave them a 2-week window to get that back. So just send me an email when you want me to put the form out. The form is just really simple. It's what we've used in the past, so it's not a onerous thing for me to put that out to everybody. Just tell me when you want it back, and we can go from there for sure.
Okay, great. We'll aim for November then, if everybody's friendly to that.
And if I just add one thing on, I know there's a line on the form that says what fundraising have they tried to do. For most of them this year, it won't be anything.
Yeah.
So just
Awesome. Sam, are you done? Or sorry, Sue, are you done?
I think that's it for now. Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? Nope. Okay, Sam, Deepak update, you're up. Don't you have a meeting today, Sam?
Hi. Yeah, I'll go there after this one.
Wow, super mom.
Yeah, so just for hello everybody. And for new parents, the DPAC is the district PAC. So it's the district level representation of all of the PACs for all 18 high schools and however many elementary schools there are in the Vancouver School Board District. And they do a lot of advocacy around policy for the whole city. Working with the trustees and with staff at the VSB. And so there's usually 2 meetings a month, one for the executive. And so every PAC is supposed to have a representative that goes and listens in, and some do and some don't. And so usually there's a couple of meetings. There's a general meeting once a month, which all parents in the city are welcome to attend. And usually they have a good presentation. On either on general issues around education or specific ones. So for example, today, the general meeting is a presentation from Pedro da Silva at the VSB on the VSB's new strategic plan that's currently being developed, which they started consultation with students in the spring, and now they're doing consultation with parents for input on that. So there was a meeting on September 9th, and basically I usually do a little update. I'll put it on the blog. But some of the things discussed were the strategic plan. DPAC has also, like the Teachers Federation, been advocating for better communication from Vancouver Coastal Health on COVID issues. So one of the things they were advocating for was to restart the exposure notifications again. So that's now happened, which is good, although we still have to see the details of how that works out. There was a big anti-racism and non-discrimination framework process that there was a lot of consultation on last year, and right now we're just the VSB is just waiting for the results and the recommendations of that to come through. So that should be happening soon. And the superintendent search is ongoing. Suzanne will be leaving at the end of the month, and Jen Unwin is currently acting supervisor, or superintendent rather. And so DPAC has some input into that process as well. And then one of the big things that has been going on, I just started last year. So last year, this year, it's an ongoing thing, is that is facilities planning, which is the whole discussion around seismic upgrades and school closures and selling off land and all of these kinds of issues that are quite complicated, complex, difficult to understand, challenges to transparency around those discussions, which I'm doing my best to follow because John Oliver is slated for a seismic upgrade in the next, well, it's supposed to be this year, but everything's been delayed. And so, but that will be something that's probably coming up in the next couple of years. And for the schools that have gone through that already, there have been some challenges with that because of basically what the rules in the VSB for how much space you get in a school are very tight. So they are looking at 90–95% occupancy in schools in Vancouver, as opposed to if you look at Surrey or Richmond or other school districts, it'll be much less. It'll be around 80–85%. And that means that a lot of the schools that are getting upgraded are losing their music rooms, losing their auditoriums, losing space like that. And so it's something that we as a PAC probably want to be prepared for and want to be ready to be able to have input when that process starts. So that's kind of mainly what I'm looking at doing. And as I say, I do post on the blog with sort of more gory details of all of this stuff. So thanks.
Thank you, Sam. Does anyone have any questions for Sam? Right, let us know what you need from us, okay? Okay, next on the agenda is a brief intro to some of our incoming executives. So I kind of talked about me. Miller's in grade 12. I'm on my way out next year. I work in the film industry and I also work in communications for the city of Richmond. I am the former president of Women in Film. Just really want to hang on to as much of time as I can get with my son and be part of his life in any way I can. So that's why I'm here. Darnell, you want to go next?
Oh, there we go. Hi. My name's Darnell. I've got 3 kids at JO, grade 12, Kaden Warnell, grade 11, Sam Warnell, and now grade 8, Kiara Warnell. So I've been coming to the PAC meetings ever since Kaden started when he was in grade 8, but this is my first year doing an official role. And yeah, it's been great so far at JO. It's a good neighborhood school. We live a couple blocks away. My kids all went to Mackenzie, I'm going to JO. I own a gym right across the street from JO, and I basically pretty much never leave the neighborhood. So that's me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting them.
But no, you pick the next victim.
Oh, okay. Who else is new? Lynn? Is Lynn? Yeah, Lynn.
Hi, I'm Lynn, and I have a son who's in grade 10 mini. And it's funny because I was just thinking about this meeting. I'm like, I remember when I was the grade 8 parent coming on to the PAC and be like, I have a grade 8. So it's crazy that I'm saying he's in grade 10. And I know soon enough it'll be grade 12 and we'll be out the door. But I have another child coming, so I'll be around for a bit. Thank you. Who will I pick? Sandra?
Hi. So I have a grade 11 son in the mini. And I wanted to say earlier, just thank you to teachers, the principal, all the admin people. It's been kind of a crazy time for you. I'm very thankful that our kids are back in school full time. I think my son is really quite happy to be back in that sense, although he did well and he's done well throughout. The mini school has been great because they have a great group. And he's got good friends who he connected throughout, but yeah, just really looking forward to this year. And hopefully it will be a much smoother year than the last one. So thank you, everyone. Oh, I guess I need to pick somebody, don't I? BJ Stewart.
And if someone doesn't want to speak, they don't have to, just say pass or move on. No worries. Okay, why don't we jump to one of our execs? So we'll go to Sue.
So how much time do I have to talk? No, just kidding.
3 sentences.
Okay, so I'm a former JO grad myself, back from 1994. Live in the area. I have a son in grade 11 mini, Carm, grade 9 mini, Arjun, and my niece, Sanam, is in grade 8 mini this year. I was the Mackenzie treasurer, and I kind of got volunteered, told it for the JO treasurer, to be JO treasurer. And I am still learning myself because it's hard to come in at a COVID year. It's weird to write checks out and not have any money come in. So I'm looking forward to figuring out if we can do some sort of fundraising and how we can help out the school. So that's me. And I'm not sure who else to pick here because
let's ask Laura. She just made a little text. She said you've been encouraged.
Exactly.
Okay, and my name's Laura Spence, and my daughter's in grade 12, and I've been on the PACs because my son's in second year university, so I've been with the JO PAC for a bunch of years. But I'm going to be, oh yeah, so I do some communications things, but because Brent is actually so technically gifted and consistent, it's meant that some of the things we used to panic about, we don't need to panic about anymore. So I can help people get access to the website, for the JO PAC website, to post things. And yeah, just doing, yeah, I don't even do barely anything anymore. Anyway, set up a Facebook event. But
Do you want
Karina's
to
gonna be taking
introduce
over
your co?
communications
Yeah,
next year.
introduce your co-communications person.
Karina is very enthusiastic and has lots of ideas, and she's going to do a wonderful job.
Over to you, Karina. You're muted, honey. You're muted. Oh, okay. That's Karina. She's going to wave at you. I think she can't get her mic working. Maybe I can. That's okay. Okay, I did want to wrap the meeting at 8, so let me move on for a minute, and then I'll open the floor if anyone does want to say.
Okay.
Oh, you are. Hi.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute myself, and the chat was not opening. I'll be quick. The last minute. Yeah. So hi everyone. I volunteered at the end of last year to join the PAC executive and help with the communication, because I work in marketing and communication. I have a son, Alex, who's in grade 9 mini. So Sue, I guess we're colleagues if I heard about Arjun. And I did it because I was really impressed with all the good things that happened throughout the last year with the high school. And I just believe that, I don't know, the high schools and all the schools these days need all the help that they can get from the parents. And if I have a little bit of time, I will volunteer in this direction and not in something else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meet everyone and see what we can do to bring, I don't know, more kids next years. And yeah, just promote the high school and yeah, show what great things they do inside there. Since we chose to come all the way from Kitilano to John Oliver. Yeah.
Sorry, I froze there for a minute. Okay, Sam, why are you here?
Hi, I'm, well, you know my name. I've got a son in grade 12 and another kid in grade 10 in the mini. And it's been a really great experience for both of them. And I was really excited to join PAC last year. And I agree with Karina that I think the schools need all the help we can get for all of us to participate. And so that's why I did it. I work in international development on policy issues. So Deepak was a great fit for me. So now I got to mess around with policy for the at the city and the school board. And yeah, just very happy to be here and hope we'll have a great year. I think we will.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I'm just putting in a link to our school's website. I'm also going to put a link again to our blog if people want to copy these links before the meeting's over. And then I'm going to go to our potential upcoming meetings to make sure that everyone is on board, because these were decided last year, but schedules sometimes vary. I'm just going to share my screen. So we've proposed October 20th, which I don't even know what day of the week that is. Wednesday. November 17th, a Wednesday. January 19th, February 16th, April 20th, and May 18th. I'm gonna stop sharing. How do people feel about those dates? Are there any issues with Wednesdays? Okay, so why don't we move forward to those dates tentatively, and if anything changes, we could try to alternate between Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, thank you, Tara. Did you want to say anything? Oh, you're leaving. Bye-bye. Thanks. Okay, we're going to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Darnell and Tracy, and all those in favor? Okay, we will see you October 20th, we hope. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah.
I just want to say this is my first time at a meeting, partly because I have a standing commitment on Wednesdays, so I was happy to attend today. You guys should meet whenever you need to, but just to let you know, my son's grade 11, and I haven't tried to be neglectful in that sense, but just I haven't been able to attend on Wednesdays.
Oh,
but,
I totally understand.
Yeah,
These
so
meetings, we used to be at Van Tech and the meetings were Thursdays, and I had a standing board meeting. If you want to participate, we want to make it as accessible as possible to you, so we can do an alternating Wednesday, Thursday, depending on the month.
Yeah, no, I think you guys should just meet on your Wednesdays as usual, but I am, if you're looking for someone to help with the task sometime along the way, feel free to reach out. I don't promise anything because I do have a very full life, but yeah, I do want to support you guys, and I do want to thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. And what I'm hoping is we can post these recordings so that if there was a time that you could just sneak out of whatever meeting and look at, scroll through the meeting and get the information you need. Not everyone, can interact in a meeting, and they may want to get the information other ways. So we'll look at that as an executive and get back to everybody.
All right.
I'm really glad you attended.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks. Does anyone have any questions before we go? I should have asked that. Nope. Okay. Have a great night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.